Welcome back. Now, I'm done now inviting the next presenter who will share with us his understanding on the historical of St. Paul the Apostle. Now, Refuting, if you may introduce to us Father Titus Amigo.
To introduce shortly Father Titus Amigo, who is also well known as Mzewe. I would like to start as follows. Father Titus Amigo is a Catholic priest of the Diocese of Lima, was ordained in 1989. He is a Biblist. Father Amigo was the rector of the Ramiro Media Seminary from 2000 to 2014. So he has been a rector for 14 years. He's also a contributor to Radio Maria programs. But also, he is a columnist of the weekly newspaper known as Kiongozi. Furthermore, he is an administrator of 5 WhatsApp groups as you know his ministry. Then, he has authored dozens of books and articles, especially the hard copies and in Facebook. Some of us here have his books. And lastly, he is the lecturer at Sauti Mwanza. But I know you know many things of him. But in short, this is Father Titus Amigo.
I want to welcome Father Titus Amigo.
One bishop went into a certain congregation and we found the sisters, they were very happy. Very happy. And he asked them, why are you so happy? Is there any celebration, any feast or something? He said, no, Bishop, the Mother Superior is not around. Now maybe you are happy now, the rector is not around. And the other dignitaries are not around, simple priests are here, so now we can talk, you know. And we wanted to talk about ourselves. We are all alone. And we can keep other things secret. Now, not long ago, so I don't say once upon a time, no. I say, recently, that I was a young person like you, somewhere, who believed that the propaganda of enjoying the world, you know, kumagilia mwali is like. So I started enjoying the world, you know, smoking ban, taking liquor, K-band, smoking shisha, whatever. Yeah? So he was really enjoying because when you have a psycho motive things, no, then you feel like once we have taken such things, you feel you are in Europe, roaming there. You sometimes feel you are in New York, shaking hands with the Trump, you know, No, you are still para. So that the young person was enjoying like that. But then, the result of all the things was that he was later on mentally disturbed. When he was disturbed, with mental disturbance, now you can be like this or be like that. That young person started feeling that he was a grain of millet. That was the type of sickness. He felt that it was a grain of millet. Consequently, he started to fear chickens. Because now he was something like food to chickens. Consequently, again, he started hiding himself in a room because he was fearing chickens outside and the cocks and all these birds which could consume him. Consequently, he was even locking the doors. Then looking from inside with fear, when he saw chickens, talk, you will not get me. So he started now screaming like that from inside the room. His relatives saw how this thing was going, let's say, it was hopeless now. The case was hopeless. So they went to a certain hospital and tried to look for a doctor, counselor. So they got a counselor, I don't know where, but they got one. Then he came and he sat with this young person and told the person who was counseling, see, you are not a grain of millet. You are a human being. Look, you have got here a pair of trousers, and you have a shirt, and you have shoes. A grain of millet is not dressed like this. See, you are a human being. You can talk. A grain of millet cannot talk with any person. See, you are a human being. You have got the relatives, you have got your father, your mother, and all these people around you. A grain of millet does not help relatives. See, you are a human being. You have been to school. A grain of millet is not a ticket to school. See, you are a human being. You have got a room like this. You have got your bed there, you have got all the things here, you have furniture and everything. A grain of millet does not have all the things, does not possess all the things. It took hours to convince this person. Finally he said, okay, yes, now I understand, I'm a human being. So the counselor took that young person and came out, testing how far that person was confident. So they were walking together like this. Then when he believed that person was really convinced that he was a human being, he left the hand of that Russian that I said, and then they were walking side by side. Now they went somewhere where there was a container. Now they went around. Behind the container there was a cock. The cock jumped. As the cock jumped, then the person started running once again. And went to his room and closed it again. And there was trembling there. Then the counselor came back. Why have you run away from me? We have been sitting here all the day. And I've been telling you that you are a human being. Why have you run away from the cock? So, there's no problem with me. That was his answer. There is no problem with me. My problem now is with the cock. Does the cock know that I am not a grain? restarted in this case. So the problem is with the cock. Does the cock know that this young person is not a grain of millet? Now I've started with this story, and this story is for you young people. We Africans are the ones, I don't know what made us come to this situation. We are the ones who feel that we are very small, like grains of millet. I don't know. Arabs are the ones who discovered this first. Africans think that they are grains of millet. So let us go and claim them. So they came and caught us and sold us. Why did they manage to sell us? Young people like some of you here, tall giants, there were giants also among Africans by that time. On the same, they were caught. One Arab could catch a lot of Africans. Remember Tipu? Tipu was an Arab who was going to Congo. We captured there a number of Africans, chain them, give them ivory, take them. Their route was this. Yes, their route. So we would come with the slaves from Congo, and we would come here and capture a number of Wanyamwezi, and their roots. Then we would go to Dodoma, catch Wagogo there, and like this. We would go to Msata, catch Wakwere there, and bring all these people to Bagamoyo and sell them as a person sells cows and goats. Arabs would come and say, okay, how much do you sell this one? And this big one? And Africans were standing like this, waiting for the buyers. Then one would buy 1 or 2 slaves. And another would say, I would like to get a female and a male. Then you would buy like that. Those who were not bought there, they were sent now to Zanzibar. This right now, that town is called Bagamoyo. It is coming from Bagamoyo. Because you don't know what is going to happen. Please, abandon your heart here. Surrender here. So, Bagamoyo. Then those people were being taken to Zanzibar, and they were being sold again there. Then others would be sent to Arabia and be sold there. And in Arabia, Arabs did not like to have us. That's why they were castrating them. That we don't reproduce. That's why you don't get descendants of Africans in Arabia. They were finished like that. Europeans discovered that this business was lucrative. So they came. And said, okay, now we would not like to buy Africans in the east of their continent. We are going to the west. They went to West Africa and started buying Africans there. And some chiefs were taking some of their servants or so and sell them. No? So they were being shipped across the Atlantic Sea, and they were taken usually to Rio de Janeiro, and they were being sold there as they were being sold here. And remember, in West Africa there was something very strange. In order to pack Africans well in a ship or so, they had to have almost the same size. So if you were fat, like Mr. Masui, not Matui. Masui, okay. Those who were fat were kept in a special room for a number of weeks so that they could come sleep. And they were always tested. You know, there were 4 doors. They would take the slave there. If the person can go through, then that was of the size which was required. Otherwise, if you would not go through the door, you would be taken once again inside and you would be tortured so that you become sleep. Because they did not like it to have wasted your space in the ship. That was in West Africa. Now, one unfortunate slave was a bouncer. That person was 2 meters, 18 centimeters. That person was called Pataseka. Very big, huge African. Now, many whites wanted to have slaves of that size. So the one who bought Pataseka was told, don't take this person to any work. Feed this person well. We would like to be, say, the father of our slaves. So female slaves were taken to Pataseka to be impregnated by this person. That was his special job. Then the person fathered more than 200 sons and daughters. That's why black Americans are huge like this, because their grandfather is Pataseka. Why were they selling us like this? It was because we were not confident in ourselves. I don't know. We shall see what I will be guessing some of the causes of this situation. Now, it happened that the whites came to our continent. And white fathers and others, have come to our place and evangelized in this place. But now remember, first missionaries got their first Christians at Bagamoyo. They went also to the slave market and bought some slaves. Those who were a little bit smarter were told to become catechists. So first catechists were slaves bought at the slave market to Bagamoyo. So first catechists. And then when they came to our place, they were a little bit worried and a little bit hesitating to baptize us. This is the story. They were asking themselves, are these really human beings or chimpanzees? What is people? So they had the problems with how we were looking at it. So I said, okay, let us baptize them. Most probably they're human beings. Some whites were really doubting. The Dutch Reformed Church in South Africa tried also to baptize Africans. But even on the day of baptism, they were not believing that they were going to baptize human beings. So on the day of baptism, the minister of the sacrament of baptism would say, if this is a human being, I baptize him. It was a case. If you go to Peramio, you will find a very nice story connected with this thing. First missionaries did not believe that we are human beings. Very few believed in this. So the first person, or the father who started the major seminary of Peramio, had a very serious problem with the other missionaries. When he told the people, I want to train Africans to be become priests, a lot of people objected to this suggestion. So no, you cannot train black people to become priests. They are chimpanzees. So no, they are human beings. I tell you, Father Stephen was left for a number of years all alone with the seminarians, young seminarians. I'm also telling you, they are not human beings. Please, don't train them to become priests. Priesthood cannot go to chimpanzees. Priesthood is for human beings. Then the father said, no, these are human beings. These are human beings. I will train them, and if God wishes, they will become also priests. Now, slowly, one or two priests will believe that those young people were human beings, then they will join the staff and teach with him. He moved with the youngest seminarians to Kigonsel. He left town and moved back, or he came back to Tel Aviv. Those who wanted to become brothers and so on, said, no, they should not join our congregation of the Benedictines. We do not believe that they are human beings. Please put them somewhere that we observe and get sure that they are human beings. That's why now, I don't know, there's some Benedictines here from Hungary. Now, I think they don't know their story, you know. Those people were sent to Hungary, and the fermenters were there, and the work of the fermenters was not really to form, but to observe whether those people were human beings. So the report said, they are human beings. If we teach in the spirit, they understand, they can follow, they are human beings. They are human beings, they are human beings, they are human beings. And at the end of that monastery resulted there, but it was from observation. Those who wanted to become sisters, no, don't let them come and join us here. Set them apart, put them alone there. Let us observe whether they are not daughters of chimpanzees. And the fermenters were also reporting they are daughters of human beings. They are not the chimpanzees. They can be taught this and this, they can understand, they can play, they can this. At the end, now we have the convent of Chipole. See, here in the West, missionaries were also hesitating to receive their people become priests. That's why there was a question in the catechism. The question was, can a Muha become a priest? That was in the catechism of the Catholic Church. The answer was in Kiswahili, kwa neema sana. Now let me cut this story short. That is the history. Now here we don't have any whiteness. We are all black. We have overcome this problem. But people would like to see whether they were not wrong when they were hesitating to accept us in the church. They are there. Those people are there. I saw one picture, the of the fathers there, of the wives. Now they are all dead. But if there are people who are doubting whether they will become good priests, I think they are still looking down to see how we fare with priesthood. If we mess things, some of them would say, yes, that was the problem. We did not like to have these people ordained as priests. See how things are going. how they are messing up things. So now, my point is this. If we have been accepted in the church, and the doubts have been cleared, that we are human beings, we are not chimpanzees, now we have to take the church in our own hands. Do you get me? Yes. And there are no fomenters who are now here told to look at us, bring comments. Are they really human beings or you are really human beings, and you are not grains of millet. Now we have to abandon what made us come to that point. I don't know the stories about witchcraft. I don't know stories about the case and so on. There were some things which made us look that much small and become so inconfident. Now we have simply to become confident and take this church in our own hands, and move forward. If it is a salvation, now it all depends on us. This is an African church. We have blacks here. I'm not quite sure. You whites, all whites believe that we are human beings. Suppose a black pope is elected in the next conclave. Will that pope be accepted as a pope, or people will be doubting about it? And I've raised a question. In the church today, you have problems of vocation. In Europe, in the United States of America. And some parishes are being closed because of lack of personnel. Why does not the church sit down and say, let us share the many power which we have got in the world? There are many priests in Africa. There are many priests in India. Let us call them and cast to them the parishes which are dying in Europe. Why? There has never been convoked any synod to solve this problem. In Europe, we don't have vocations and so on because the families are limited and this. They are going around like this. And in Ireland, there was a question also. Let us bring Africans here and solve this problem of vocations. No, they do not know. They don't speak English well. Is this the problem? That we are not accepted in Europe because we don't master the languages. Did the white people who came to Africa master Kinyamwezi? Did they speak the standard Swahili? So there is a big question mark there. I think they do not believe that we are human beings. They are worried about us. They are worried about us. Are we priests like those people? Do we share the same priesthood? Are the bishops sharing the same episcopate? I don't know. Now, that's why now I've chosen this topic for you. We were left free to choose our topics. Now my topic is this: historic records of St. Paul the Apostle. Historic records of St. Paul. Why? Because I have 5 points to justify this thing, or this topic. First, young people, I want you all to learn something from Paul, because I believe you are teachable. You are teachable. You can be taught something. You can understand something. So we can draw a lot of lessons from Paul. This is the first reason why I've chosen that topic. The second reason is this: we want to be edified. I believe your hearts are buildable. We can build your hearts. We can build your energy and so on. The third point, why I've chosen this topic for you, is that we want you, or I want you to be motivated. Because you can be motivated. You are motivable. So first, you are teachable. Secondly, you are buildable. That is nurturable. Then thirdly, you are motivable. And then I want you to be charged, in your spirits, to be charged with your vocation. I believe your hearts are chargeable. And finally, I want to bring St. Paul before you so that we can imitate him. Because St. Paul is imitable. Now, why should we learn from St. Paul? St. Paul is a writer, as you know, has authored a number of New Testament books. And in one of his letters, has said something. If you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 11 to 13, I read here for you. Paul writes, "Now all these things happened to them by the way of example, and they were described in writing to be a lesson for us, to whom it has fallen to live in the last days of the ages. Everyone, no matter how firmly he thinks he is standing, must be careful he does not fall. None of the trial which have come upon you is more than a human being can stand. You can trust that God will not let you be put to test beyond your strength, but with any trial will also provide a way out by enabling you to put up with it." So, young people, please start with the thing. We have to learn from Paul. Paul has written a number of biblical books, and he asks us to learn from the context. There are strange things in the Bible. You can read about the story of David taking the wife of Uriah. You can read the story of Ahab killing Naboth and so on. These are strange stories. But once they are read in the church, and the lector or the reader says, "This is the word of God," we have to say, "Yes, it is the word of God." Why? This negative story is to warn you against such activities. So if you have a very bad story in the Bible that is saying, "Don't do this thing," a record has been said by this person, "Don't repeat this thing," the end of this person almost will be your own end. If there is a point or a reading which encourages you, and then the lector says, "This is the word of God," you have to say, "Thanks to God." That good lesson, that positive lesson is for you to be encouraged, that you should be motivated to do the same. So now we can learn from Paul. Paul has written a number of things we can learn from him. Then I said we wanted to be edified. Because you are miserable. Paul has prophesied. His writings were not really addressing the problems of that time, and they were not intended to end there. What he has written is almost prophesying, and some of the things were hitting our own age. Now, prophecy prophecy in the Bible is ranked first among the talents, among the charisms. Prophecy is ranked among the first. And Paul himself says somewhere in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 3 to 5, that is this way. Someone who prophesies, speaks to other people, builds them up, and giving them encouragement and reassurance. Those who speak in a tongue may build themselves up, but those who prophesy build up the community. While I should like you all to speak in tongues, I would much rather you could prophesy, since those who prophesy are of greater importance than those who speak in tongues, unless they can interpret what they say, so that the church is built up by it. So there are some people who like to speak in tongues. La 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 la. No. Shabba la la la. Yeah. The scripture is very clear. Know that for yourself. All along, because it can build you. But if we wanted to build the community and we want to build the church, please preach. Prophesy. Because that is what can give people encouragement and reassurance. There are people who would like to become miracle workers. Working miracles needs a special type of faith. If you don't have that kind of faith, which Jesus says can be as small as a mustard seed, if you don't have that, don't attempt to work a miracle. You will flatly fail. You better become like John the Baptist. John the Baptist is written about him. It is said in John chapter 10, verse 40 to 42, that he did not make any sign in his own life, but he made many people believe in Jesus Christ. That is what is for you. So that after the ordination, you will hear about people who go around working miracles. They fail usually, flatly. Because what they attempted to do is not their charisma. You understand what I'm saying? That's why even exorcism is not for all. Canon number 1172, paragraphs 1 and 2 says, exorcism is for special priests, not each and every one. That exorcist should be, first of all, be permitted by right by the bishop, and should be a priest with 4 qualities. Should be a holy person, a wise priest, knowledgeable priest, and someone who can be trusted. So you are a priest who is simply tuned or addicted to alcohol, and you want to drive the devil. You will fail, because the devil will say, you are like me. Why are you driving me out of this person? So the devil shouldn't be it's not that much ignorant. If you are a poor priest and a sinful priest, you will never drive the devil from anybody. Because the devil is like you. He is your brother. He will refuse. He will refuse. And this is true. This is true. If we go to Acts of the Apostles in chapter 19, verses 11 to 19, there were seven brothers the sons of Sceva who were trying to drive the devil. But they were not believing in Jesus Christ. They just heard that Paul was using the name of Jesus Christ to drive the devil. You know, they had their own methods of driving the devil before Jesus Christ came. They were using abusive language, and they were using to smear on the body of the possessed person bad or smelling bad or stinking elements and so on. But now when the Paul was using the name of Jesus Christ to drive the devil, they said, okay, let us use that simple formula. Let us use that simple formula. So one day they got a possessed person and said, in the name of Jesus Christ, who is preached by Paul, get out. The devil said, who are you? Who are you? I know who Jesus is. I know who Paul is. Who are you? The devil came out of that person and overpowered these young people. And they came out of that room naked. They abandoned their clothes inside. This one of the church says, okay, exorcism is to be preserved for special priests, not for each and everyone. Canon law, number 172 paragraphs 1 and 2. Then I said another thing why I've chosen this topic is that I want you to be motivated. To be motivated. We should not see this vocation as something which has been imposed on us. Before your ordination, the bishop will ask the vocation director, do you know this young person? And the person says, yes. After consulting his fomenters and so on, this person is now deserving to be ordained priest. Then you will be asking yourself, do you want this and this and this? You say, yes, now attack. Then you will be asked the second time, do you want this and this and this? You will be answered second time, now attack. I don't know whether it's some confidence or what. But you will be asked the third time, do you want this and this or that? Nataka. I said, if I were a bishop, I would have gone to that candidate, and shook that person. I would be a very terrible bishop. Maybe that's why I'm not. I would have been a very terrible bishop. I would have gone there and shook that person. You young person, do you want this and this and this and this? Because I think some people, when responding to the questions of the bishops, are nosy. They do not know what is really accepted there. You have to know this is something serious. Priesthood is something serious. That's why in the former times, even in the seminaries, there was some kind of selection. We don't accept here mentally disturbed. By that time, we were not even taking here people who were somehow educated. We wanted strong people who are ready to be sent to the corners of the world. Strong people. Not only physically, mentally useful. And in the former times, they would even check whether you are fit in reproduction. Are you really a man? Are you really a man? Can you procreate children? Do you have this power? Because we come here to offer ourselves as a sacrifice. If we don't have anything to offer as a sacrifice, what are you coming to offer? So you have to come here to offer something, and priesthood is a special work. Paul, remember, Paul was always motivated in his vocation. And that's why he said, I will go further because of the supreme advantage of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord. I count anything else as loss for him. I have accepted the loss of all things and look on them all as filth, if only I can gain Christ and be given a place in him. That is Philippians chapter 3, verses 8 to 9b. So he was highly motivated, and you have to be highly motivated for this vocation. Then fourthly, I said we wanted to deeply be charged into love for God. I've seen this thing. I wrote it in English, this thing. Read for me what is written there. That's what Paul said. Life to me is Christ. That's how he was deeply charged into love for God. Deeply charged. So charge your spirit, charge your mind. It should be filled with Jesus Christ. We charge our mobile phones, and then it indicates 20%, 30%, and then 100%. Then your mobile phone says fully charged. Now you have to do the same. To be fully charged with Jesus Christ. Not the 20%, no. For you, Christ should be your life. Otherwise, there are other vocations. You can become a driver of boda. You don't need to be fully charged with Christ. You can cheat anybody. You can become a pastor in a certain church. You can establish your own church and cheat people there. But if you want to become a Catholic priest, please be charged with the love for God. So Paul said, life to me, of course, is Christ. But then death would be a positive gain. On the other hand, again, if to be alive in the body gives me an opportunity for fruitful work, I do not know which I should choose. I'm caught in this dilemma. I want to be gone and to be with Christ. And this is by far the stronger desire. And yet for your sake, to stay alive in this body is a more urgent need. This much I know for certain, that I shall stay and stand by you all, to encourage your advance and you in the faith, so that my return to be among you may increase to overflowing your pride to Jesus Christ on my account. This is Philippians chapter 1, verses 23 to verse 26. Finally, I chose this topic because the patron saint of this seminary is Paul. Now, we choose names of saints so that we may be motivated by what they have achieved. Now, Paul is the patron saint of this seminary. We want to be motivated by what he achieved. We want to imitate him because Paul is imitable. We could not give this seminary, I don't know, Shokoloko Media Seminar. Who is Shokoloko? Or Mayunga Media Seminar. Who is Mayunga? We put there Paul because it was somebody who went around preaching with confidence and motivation and, I don't know, courage, which is, in fact, said there as a record. So there's nothing. And he even told the people, please, he told the Corinthians, please, imitate me. Imitate me. Take me as your pattern, just as I take Christ for mine. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Now, if someone says, take me as a pattern, it means that the person is very confident. If we are drunkard, can you tell people, take me as a pattern? No. So Paul was upright, he was morally fit, and so he could even dare people say, take me as a pattern. Because myself, I've taken Jesus as a pattern. So now we have people who are studying here, take St. Paul as your pattern. And that's why now we come to the third part of our talk. My first part was that small introduction of that young person who was feeling to be a grain of millet. You know? The second part is this, which I now conclude, which was justification of my topic. I've justified this topic with the 5 good reasons. We wanted to learn. We wanted to be edified. We wanted to be highly motivated in our vocation. We want to be deeply charged into love for Christ. And then, because we want to have this saint here before us so that we may imitate him. Now, let us go to the records. Now, he has a set. The records of Paul, historic records, are summarized in 2 Corinthians, in chapter 11, verses 21 to 33. Now I read the passage quickly. I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, whensoever any is bold, I speak foolishly. I am bold also. Are you Hebrews? So I am. Are you Israelites? So I am. Are you the seed of Abraham? So I am. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prison, more frequent, in death, oft. Of the Jews, 5 times. Received I 40 stripes, save 1. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. In a night and day I have been in journeyings often, in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by mine own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in wilderness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fasting often, in cold and nakedness. Besides those things that are without, that which comes upon me daily, the care of all the churches. Who is weak, and I am not weak? Who is offended, and I will not? If I must glory, I will glory of the things which concern mine infirmities. The God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is blessed forever, knows that I lie not. In Damascus, the governor under Aretas, the king kept the city, the Damascus within a garrison, desirous to apprehend me. And through a window in a basket was I let down by the wall and escaped his hands. So this is the summary of Isaiah records. Now, let me comment and these records. I rearrange now. I rearrange all these records in 6 areas. I want to comment on the achievements of Paul, after rearranging them in 6 areas. Area number 1 is about his lineage and the ancestry. Area number 2 is preparation for work in the vineyard. Area number 3, discharge of ministry. Area number 4, his work ethics. Area number 5, physical and spiritual endurance. Area number 6, which will be the last one, sources of Paul's energy. Sources of Paul's energy. Where did Paul get his energy? The source of his energy. Now, area number 1, he says, he has asked questions. They were rhetorical questions. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Then they asked them, are they ministers of Christ? Said, I speak as a fool. I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths oft. That's what he says. Now, about his lineage, Paul says, I'm Hebrew, seed of Abraham, and also Israelite. Now, what does it mean? Here, young people, Paul is setting a record that I'm coming from a very good lineage. So, if there is somebody who wants to despise me because of my lineage, then the person has no reason to despise me. Now, this is for you. This is for us. This is for us. Since we all are created in the image and the likeness of God, we are coming from very good lineage. The wise will say, maybe it is a chimpanzees. They forgot that we were also created in the image and likeness of God. That was their problem. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, for them was not applying to us. But it was applying to us. And this is a very important thing. Be confident in what you are. You are Mgogo. This is okay. It's okay. What is the problem with the being Mgogo? You are Mnyakusa. You are Makonde. There's no problem. So don't feel sorry because of your tribe. Don't feel sorry because of your color. Don't feel sorry because of your nation. You are a human being. That is what you are created in the image and likeness of God. So go proudly wherever you go. Are you today? And preach. It is here where the very serious difference starts. Jews interpret this verse, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. When they read, they say, Jews are assistants, are second to God. They are second to God. That's the thing. So Jews, we are second to God there. Below God, we are there. We Africans started to miss the point there. After God, the person believes in ancestors, kuna mizimu, and so they are witches, and magicians. No? Then they start feeling themselves very small. It is here where we start to lose the battle. It is here where we start to lose the battle. You know, Americans, when they upbring their children, they will tell them, you are young, a child, You are a very important person, born to a great nation. You are a super human being. This is why in America, we always go confidently with this. A super human being in the world. They get some kind of stubbornness from this. That's why even if a white person comes to our seminar here, that person will be different from you. That seminarian will always be very confident. I was blind. You want to be, but you, Mzungu. This kind of fear comes from this thing because we are not raised in this way. No? Nobody tells us you are human beings, you are a Tanzanian, you are a superhuman being, you are Ngogo, and so on. No. Your father, your mother, your relatives will tell you, be afraid of the wolves. That's why now we are so sorry. Why a human being? Dr. Masood, I take you as a very example. As huge as you are, you have to be confident. Walk around. Sukuma. Otherwise, if you go back to your ancestors and teachings of your friends, it will produce. This kind of weaknesses very embarrassing. That's why our people now take blessed water to chase lizards. A huge person of 100 kilos would be afraid of a lizard. If the person finds a lizard in his room or a room, would take blessed holy water. Sacramento. And what do you know? Yes. Who did it? Get the scripture. A person of 80 kilograms fearing a small thing like that, which does not come even to the 50 milligrams. It is here where our weakness comes in. It is here where we feel as if we are grains of millet. It is here where Arabs found that we are weak and we can be enslaved. It is here where Europeans find that we can be colonized. It is here. We have to be confident. We are human beings created in the likeness and image of God. And we can be as bright as the white people. We can be as smart as the white people. Otherwise, so Helen is king. A white person can come here and take us to work. White person. But he can have courage to say no to Father Omuva. We will not have courage to say no to our this. Very strong. That's why now, you see this discrepancy. The Chinese, for instance, who are very confident, they're small like this, no? Very small. But they can command engineers, huge engineers of this country. Short engineers. Sometimes not engineers, but you can say to an African, go there, do this, and do that. Now we should be at a position to feel that we are really created in the likeness of God and in His image. We are sacred to God. Let us destroy all the things which we have put above us. We have put here religions, we have put here, our ancestors, we have put here, evil spirits, so many things that are above us and between us and God. No, God is directly working with us. And with this order of being, and now I'm talking of order of being, but an African has put himself or herself very low there and above that the person has put a number of people, magicians, I don't know, ancestors, you have, I don't know, and God is far, very far above. From this order of being, you have clever Africans who say, okay, you Africans, are you afraid of witches? Are you afraid of this and that? Now, you can trust me. I can give you a portion of this or that. Then that can do away with all your fear. It is here where the pastors come in. And you can also come in. If we will tell Africans, mimi, muniamini, our child now, mimi ndio kiboko, we shall go to him. That's why Mamposa comes now and says, okay, now do you have any problems? Bring the soil. Bring the soil. I can bless it. No. And that will do away with everything in your house. Just imagine. Kukomboa ardhi, what does it mean? Does Tanzania need the liberation of this type? And the soil? The soil which is so rich with the minerals. We have gold. Some of you are coming from Gate. You have gold. Mwenda Kulima is very close to the gold mine there. This country is blessed. We don't need to take the soil of this country and take it to Mamposa to have it, I don't know, blessed once again. Those people who know that this country is rich are coming from their countries to take what is inside our soil. They take it and go away with it. And we ourselves, we will remain with heaps of soil. People and udongo uliokombolewa. Nyumbani mwake. One of the Chinese has taken the mineral as well. Another person has gone to Mamposa to take a water. And blessed the water, maji ya upako, anointed water. And he smears himself around litapata hela. Somebody buys water from this company, you drop, and then he doesn't even bless. What he does is simply to distribute to this and put in a smaller, say, the package this is for. And the brand the water, anointed water. In that way, you can get all these people who do not trust themselves, who do not think that they are images of God. These people can get them. And you can tell them, okay, now can do many things. That's why now we have multiplication of anointed things. Ties are upako. Kekes are upako. Chupi are upako. And some priests join this. This is sector of people. This is very disappointing. After your theology, and after receiving lectures from your rector in dogma, you end up treating people this way. You end up putting more weight on the burden which is carried by your fellow African. This is really injustice. Africans, as I just said, we Africans were all despised. Now let us start feeling that we are created in the image and likeness of God. So don't worry about your lineage and your ancestors. You are Mgogo, yes. You are Makua, yes. You are Mnyamwezi, yes. There is no problem. You are an African, yes. Your blackness is not a sign of being cursed. No. This is because we have more pigments. Pigments produce melanin. Now that was intended by God so that you can sustain the rays of the sun. You are not cursed. Those who live outside the tropical countries or so have a white skin because they do not need melanin, as we need. Our fellow albinos have got a problem because they don't have the protective agent in their skins. But we Africans know what is happening, and so our sisters would like to bleach themselves and become white, be coral and so on. Very sorry. And now, not only this, Paul was himself despised. Because for the Jews, a person who has been sent by God should first of all be a male, tall, without any blemish. Now, Biblists say Paul was short. And he had a kind of trachoma. So for the Jews, Paul was not sent by God. How could a short person be sent by God? How could a person suffering from trachoma be sent by God? That's why he has hinted somewhere in one of his letters, 1 Corinthians, when they see me, they say, he is nothing. And they say my letters are very strong, but when they see me, I'm nothing. And this is what is called a thorn in his body. And Paul says, I have been praying God to remove this thorn from me. I don't know, maybe he was praying that God to stretch him and become taller a bit. And do away with that suffering. Now the answer from God was what? Go on preaching. My grace is enough for you. So, don't despise yourself. Even if people are trying to despise you and look down upon you, don't worry. When you become a Christian, go to the world and execute what your mission will tell you. So, get into the job. Don't buy all details. You are cast, I don't know what you are bewitched, I don't know what. Don't buy all details of this type. Go into the world, get into the job, young people, and really work hard. The church is in your hands now. Then secondly, we said it is an issue of his preparation. His preparation for work in the vineyard. This refers to his education. Paul was a qualified Pharisee. To become a Pharisee, it took a person 38 years of following a rabbi. 38 years. Then he became a Pharisee. A Pharisee is an academic qualification. Paul did that kind of education. He received it. And he says, I received it from a very famous rabbi. I received it from Gamaliel. And Gamaliel was a very famous rabbi because he was a grandson of another famous rabbi, Hillel. So he was trained, he was instructed by Gamaliel, and he was very proud of that thing. He was going around, I've been trained by Gamaliel. I'm somebody. So he was very confident. Now, when he was studying, when he was following Gamaliel, he did not know that he was being prepared by God to become a very special person in the church. He did not know this. Now, you have to do the same. And do the same. Now you are being prepared. You are being prepared here. For 3 years, you have been prepared. I don't know, you took a walk, emotional. Your mouth has been enticed by philosophical subjects. Your professors, your lecturers have taught you how to speak. That's why they've given you a number of courses in logic and so on. And they have exposed you to ideas of Socrates, ideas of Aristotle, of Spinoza, I don't know who, and all these people, how they were contradicting each other, or how they were supporting each other, to equip you that you should now face the world which is like this, full of people who are ready and others who are not ready to accept your message. You're ready for 3 years. Nowadays,
3 years.
3 years, yes. Formerly, philosophy was only 3 years, yes. So, 3 years. To get you ready to speak with the people. Are 3 years not enough? Should we tell the bishops to increase the years? So they become confident. If we are not confident after 3 years, should we suggest to the bishops, to these young people, in order to become confident, they need 5 years or more? If they are enough, then you are ready. Then you have been brought here. For how long will you stay here? 4 years. That means now you are going to be given what to tell the people. You will be given what you are going to tell the people. Be given here the teachings of the church, dogmatics. You will be given here how to administer sacraments, free teaching. You will be given here how to tell the people how to behave, morals. So you have everything here. What you are supposed to tell the people about the blessed Virgin Mary, if you what are you to tell the people about the Trinity, you have a program for that. Everything for 4 years. Will you not be ready after 4 years? Now, after 7 years of training, all priests should have been ready for the work in the field. So it is very strange sometimes when you find a priest, I don't know what to preach. Nimekaa sana hapa sasa cha kuambia watu sijui. Have you really reproduced at least? Reproduce what you have gained at Kipalaba? You needed here 4 years to get what you would have been telling the people. Have you exhausted really what you have been given for 4 years? That's why sometimes our homilies are embarrassing. You know? A priest forgets everything which he has studied in his life. In his head there is something else. And he goes direct to that thing. And it is said there was a priest somewhere who had a problem with the pews, benches in the church. People were not contributing enough to buy pews or benches. So it happened that it was on the 1st of May, memorial of the feast of St. Joseph. So he just started. See, today is the feast of St. Joseph. He was a carpenter. Now, some people do not contribute here. Where should we get the benches? That is a hobby. So jumping directly into the issue of the benches and pews. No. That is doing injustice to your lecturers. That is doing injustice to yourself as well. Your lecturers have been laboring for so long to equip you with the words and doctrines and everything you needed to tell the people. Then you impoverish yourself and become so poor. So, Paul was well prepared for his work. You are also getting ready and people preparing you for this mission. Then the way this person discharged the ministry. Paul, full of confidence, abided to what the scripture says. We were commanded, and Father Pius told us this morning, we were commanded with Jesus Christ. Go therefore, make disciples of all nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teach them to observe all the commands I gave you. And look, I am with you always, here to end of time. This is Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 to 20. Now, all Pauline letters witness how committed Paul was. Paul was very committed to this command. He was really a missionary. He went around preaching. And from this commandment here, or this command here, we have 5 things. To go out, to make people disciples of Jesus Christ. Thirdly, to baptize them. Fourthly, to teach them what we have been given ourselves, or to pass to them what has been given to ourselves by Jesus Christ, and to assure them of the presence of Jesus Christ. There are 5 things in this command. 5 things. And Paul really did that. Paul really did that. Now it will be your turn to go out, to make all nations disciples of Christ, and baptize them, and give them what you have been given yourself by Jesus Christ, and assure them of the presence of Jesus Christ. It should be very embarrassing later on when people say, I'm a priest ordained, I'm getting in the diocese of Bukoba. Now I cannot go anywhere because elsewhere there are no bananas. And there was a name. Now can I eat the foods which are eaten by the Makonde? No, I cannot go to Dwara. Then you are not a Catholic. Then you have not stood for the command of Jesus Christ. The command of Jesus Christ was to go out, go elsewhere, anywhere. And Paul said, eat whatever will be provided to you. If you go to Bukoba, people eat sedere, those are not dangerous grasshoppers, they can be eaten, and they are source of protein, eat them. If you come to Mtwara, people eat rats there is no problem, Samakinchanga, they are source of protein, eat as the people eat there. You'll get your protein as well. That's how going out means. Otherwise, you will remain in your diocese. And many of you would like to get special positions now around the bishop. Just imagine, you will be 300 priests in your diocese. Which post will your bishop give you all? How many posts allow priests to remain around the bishop? The vicar general, the general secretary, Russell, and what else? The posts are finished. There are only 4. Just imagine you are 300 priests in your diocese. And you are trying to fight for these 4 posts. And you want all to remain, the city or the town of the bishop. Should the bishop construct new dormitories there? No, the bishop needs courageous people to be sent to the corners of his diocese and to the corners of the world. And as I said, if you trust yourself as a priest ordained from the Catholic Church, so I can be sent anywhere. You want me to go to Kalahari Desert? I'm ready. You want me to go to Sahara? I'm ready. That's the thing. And then when you are posted, to a very poor parish, you start to complain. And then you go to the sisters. Sisters, I've come to say bye because the bishop has said to me. Then the sister said, what is son of father? And then they offer you Coca-Cola. And you don't cupcakes, and then you take Coca-Cola in front of the sisters. No, we need encouragement. You are said very poor that finished, you say that Nanda parochial. And if you have your academic qualification, there's no problem. Even if you are a doctor of theology, I don't know what's meaning doctor of morals, lakini akona parokia ya habari. Watanikoma kwenda na wewe tu doctor. Otherwise, I'm the doctor of this subject. Now I should go to teach in the very seminar. How many seminaries are there? So please, you're prepared, and you have to be ready for any type of job within that in the church. Any post should be fit for you. No? Trust yourself. You are created in the image of God. You are strong enough, then you can execute anything. So please discharge your ministry. And this is why, now there's a Bible. This is why Paul encouraged even Timothy. Timothy, you are following me, you are my disciple. Now listen. You have to be like this, you have to be like this. First the letter of St. Paul to Timothy, chapter 4, verses 11 to 16. It is said, first, listen to what Paul told Timothy. See, it says, let no one disregard you because you are young. Let no one disregard you because you are young. But be an example, see, to all the believers in the way you speak and behave, and in your love, your faith, and your purity, until I arrive. Devote yourself to reading to the people, encouraging and teaching. You have in you a spiritual gift which was given to you when the prophets spoke and the body of the elders laid their hands on you. Do not neglect it. Let this be your care and your occupation, and everyone will be able to see your progress. Be conscientious about what you do and what you teach. Persevere in this, and in this way you will save both yourself and those who listen to you. This is how Timothy was instructed by Paul. To be confident in himself. He was young, but his youth was to be no point to be disregarded. He was to feel well, because of his youth, he should be strong enough to charge in the ministry. Understand? So this is very important. And Paul himself said, I'm training myself as a boxer. That's what Paul said. I'm training myself as a boxer. I want to save those who listen to me and myself as well. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 23 to 37. See? And young people, remember, by that time when people were training, what they were getting at the end of the competition was only a length of leaves. Taji ya majani. It was all. But they were training hard. They were fasting. They were exercising every day. And on the day of competition, they were to run naked. You understand this? By that time, in the olden time, people were running naked because clothes would obstruct you, would not be good for you. So they were putting aside their clothes and ran naked. For the wrath of the wrath which was prepared there, something prepared out of leaves. Now we are looking for eternal salvation. We are looking for eternal bliss. We have to work harder than those people. You know. So, then that is how he charged his ministry. Go everywhere where your bishop will tell you to go. Go there, baptize the people, then teach them. This is in the command. Teach them what you have been given yourself, pass it to them. And then assure the people that Jesus is there. Jesus has not abandoned the people, no. And you have to, that's why Jesus said, okay, when you go out, make sure you have got your sandals and a stick. That's what Jesus said. Chukua fimbo and yard. That means ready to go everywhere. And if there is something along the way which will obstruct you, kick it out with your stick. And that is the meaning of the pastoral staff of the bishops. I don't know whether we understand it. That is ready for the battle in the diocese. If there is something coming, you know. I think they know the meaning of the staff. So Jesus said, we have to have sandals because we are to be engaged in roaming around, traveling around. So we need sandals and we need a stick. Otherwise, don't have two tunics. Why? Tunics, here spiritually, they mean personalities. We should not have two personalities. You have to be simple. So don't put two tunics. Usio to Ainambi. That's me. By night, you are somebody like a devil. By the daytime, you are Mr. Peace. By night, you are a thief. This is putting two tunics on you. You have to be transparent, you have to be sincere, you have to be humble, and that is the only tunic you put on. And every person knows you. This father is like this. He has no hidden part of him. That's the thing. And then when we go there, mix with the people as the father has told us as he was enlightening or giving us more light on the issue of incarceration. Go there, eat what will be provided by the people, and be one of those people, and try to teach them. If they reject you, then you can leave with them the dust which you collected in their town or their village. That's all. Then, now let us go to his work ethics. With the work ethics here, we mean what? We mean a cultural norm that advocates being personally accountable and responsible for the work that one does, and is based on the belief that work has intrinsic value. When you say this work is mine, and I'm accountable and quite responsible, you put your heart in that work, and you work very hard. That is work ethics. Now, towards work ethics, you have 9 steps, which can be recognized, which can be really identified, and can be noted in the life of Paul. 9 steps towards work ethics. First of all is attendance. Secondly, character. So attendance. Second, character. Thirdly, teamwork. Fourthly, attitude. Number 5, productivity. Number 6, organizational skills. Number 7, communication. Number 8, cooperation. We'll have to time us, but now we'll forgive me. Number 8, cooperation. Number 9, respect. Now, before I'm cautioned, I go quickly. Attendance will mean to be there, to be always there. Paul was always there. He was always in his work. 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year. Not 24 hours. Paul was always there. So he was not absenting himself from his work. Now, in your work, you have to imitate Paul. You have to be there always. If you will be assigned as a fellowship Christian, be there, and work. You should not be prepared yourself to leave that work aside and meander out of your place. No. Remain there. Paul was always there. And this is what he was telling Titus, Timothy, Silas, and the others. Let us be always here. Let us work hard. That's what he told even Timothy. Timothy, be there. You are young, but you are youth, should not drive you mad. Be there. Remain in your work.